Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Santos. Good morning, viewers around Australia. Day 4 of the Tokyo Olympics is happening now on the 7 Network. And if you want to watch the Olympics, you can cheer on the Aussies there. And wasn't the swimming good yesterday? Let's hope the Aussies can come home with more bling around their neck. Well, when I say bling, I mean gold. Well, joining me now in the studio, mine is Alec again. Good morning, Alec. Hope you're watching there, mate, and staying safe. Good morning to Georgia.
Morning, Barry. Thanks for having me on the episode today.
Well, today on the show, we're going to be talking about confidence whilst on footpaths and on the road. Now, confidence is the most important thing when you're out and about, because if you don't have the confidence, you will never have it. Here's my offsider now to open episode 244 with what I've just said.
Yeah, so it's important to have confidence when you're trying maybe new things or trying to improve at certain activities. So you want to make sure that you're always pushing yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone and have the confidence to do so.
Confidence is very important. Okay, because as we get older, okay, it's important that we build it up. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's important to build it up, like Barry said, when you start to get older, because if you don't try things when you're younger, then it can be hard to get into the routine, and it's harder to push yourself out of your comfort zone because you've been doing the same thing for so many years. So it's important to let yourself have the confidence to try new things and become better at some things you may be doing.
So confidence is very important, guys, and we know that you like to sit in your comfort zone, but hey, I'm 46, so I've got to try and get out of the show a bit more. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to try and do this morning. And also today on the show, we've got the latest about the decision on Sydney's lockdown, whether we stay locked up or come out of it, but we will give you an update on that after 11 o'clock, after we've watched what the Premier has had, after we've listened to, I should say, to what the Premier has had to say, okay, and the Minister, the police, the Dr. Chad, all doing a great job out there. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, so we'll have an update at probably around 11:30 about what the Premier and all of the officials have to say. I think that we'll definitely stay in lockdown, but I think maybe some restrictions will be eased for the places that kind of like are further away from maybe Metro Sydney. So we'll see what they have to say there and report back.
Now, the protests on Saturday was totally disrespectful. We'd like to hear from you this morning about what you think of the silly people that had the protest. We'd really like to hear your thoughts and share your thoughts with us as well, because nothing is wrong with sharing thoughts. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's important to share what you think about the whole situation, and it's important to respect what everyone thinks, but also make sure that you voice how you feel. Isn't that right, Barry?
Yeah, and don't keep anything bottled up, guys, because like George has said about the confidence, if it's there, if it doesn't get used, the confidence will become stale over time, and you will never get out of your comfort zone. So it's the same with keeping everything in, guys. So don't keep it in the bottle screwed up, with the lid on, I should say. Take the lid off the bottle, pour out the contents like that, okay? Let people know how you are feeling, okay? It's no point sitting there and thinking that there is no one who you can talk to, because Georgia and I don't believe in that. So if you're frustrated about how the lockdown is gone, or the protest, or how the protests have made you feel, please do comment on this, because if you don't say how you feel and you forget about it, the contents will become stale over time. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's important to keep using your skills that you've gained, such as confidence or some physical skills as well, so that you don't lose them and that you can keep improving all of your skills.
Because the more you improve, ladies and gentlemen, the better. The same with letting out your confidence, letting out your frustrations. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, don't get really angry. It's okay to show a bit of anger, but not a lot, okay? I know a lot of people do show a lot of anger when those sorts of things go on, but don't go on and on and on about it, because you will make yourself even more frustrated and get butterflies in your stomach, etc. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's important to make sure that even when you are expressing emotion, that they're composed emotions and that people can understand how you feel, and that it's a productive conversation rather than just getting angry and having no result from it.
Because you can upset your stomach too. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, sometimes emotions overtake you so much that it has a physical effect, so you want to make sure that you avoid that as much as possible, and that you look at everything from a relaxed perspective and take time to think about things before you maybe explode about it, but not too much time that you're not feeling like you're being heard.
So we know that it's been frustrating, guys, but remember, have patience. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's important to understand, especially in the COVID situation, the lockdown, to have patience and understand that everyone is technically in the same boat, and some people are struggling more than others in a lot of situations, but there's no point in lashing out about it, because then that just makes everyone have a prolonged period of kind of suffering in this. So we want to make sure that everyone's being patient and understanding where everyone else is coming from.
And view your points too politely. Don't swear about it. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, it's important to have the productive conversation that we were talking about before, and how Barry was saying that anger can overtake the message. So you want to make sure that you are being clear and concise, and also being polite at the same time.
We know it's been absolutely frustrating, but like I've been saying on the episodes that I have brought to you, please be there for one another, support one another, and comfort one another. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, it's important that we all stick together through these times, and just in everyday life as well. And if we do that, we can get through this all together.
Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're all in this together. And remember, reach out to Lifeline if you feel you've got to speak to someone. Their number is 131114. Get a pen and a piece of paper and write that number down. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, it's important to recognize when you need help, and when those signs of needing help are at the point where you can be productive and reach out, even if it's virtually. So the Lifeline number is always a good one, and if you need emergency help, then 000.
But only in an emergency.
Yeah.
Well, coming up now is the confidence. So we're going to go for a walk now at 7 minutes after 10, and we'll get back to you with the second part of the show. And today we're going to talk confidence, more about confidence and more about the COVID situation. So you're watching episode 244. Let's get the walk happening. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we are heading up from Stanley Street here in Tyndale, and 2 other wheelchairs are following. As I was saying earlier, back in the studio, very important to have confidence, because, as I've also said, if you don't have any confidence, you can never build it up as the years go by. Here's my offside.
Yeah, it's definitely important to make sure that you keep practicing what you want to grow your confidence in, so that you don't lose that. It's like any muscle in your body, you need to keep using it or you lose it. Isn't that right?
And practice what you preach, guys. Here's my offside.
Yeah, it's all good and well if you talk about doing something, but if you aren't actually doing that thing, then it doesn't mean too much.
And it doesn't make much sense talking about it. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not gonna practice it, then there's no point in talking about it.
So, 2 wheelchairs and 2 other people, okay, to practice what you preach.
Yeah, just
Like-
go to the left here, Barry.
and then just go around the pole
Yep,
like that,
very nice.
and then continue on the way.
Yeah, we're just getting near the main road here, so the sound might get a little bit hard to hear. So we'll get back to them when we're a bit closer. Does that sound good?
Yep, we'll get back to you shortly.
All right.
Well, it's almost lunchtime here, and it's good afternoon or early afternoon. Barry and George are with you here in the studio with a COVID update. Okay, so a lot of people got tested up until 8 o'clock last night. And here's George to read the numbers out.
85,000 tests last night to 8 p.m. With, do you want me to say the case numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was 172 cases with 60 in the community while infectious.
So that is a very alarming figure indeed. So an announcement will be made tomorrow on what July 31 will look like. Okay, so thank you to all those people who got tested. Here's my operator.
Yeah, it's very good to see the large number of tests, but also not great to see that those tests are discovering a lot of cases, but at least we can identify the cases and do contact tracing to make sure that the number of people in the community while infectious goes down.
So a man fled the lockdown, left Sydney when he shouldn't have. Now, he caught up with a Virgin flight attendant, I think, or a flight attendant on one of the flights. We don't know which airline it was, but if you know that you can't escape a lockdown, wasn't the smartest thing. Here's my operator.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. I haven't heard the story that you're talking about, but it doesn't sound good.
So apparently a man jumped on a plane to go to Queensland whilst infected.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not very good news there, unfortunately. So we will wait until tomorrow on what July 31 looks like, while Victoria and South Australia will end their lockdown at midnight tonight. I can't give you any more information about that because I don't live in Victoria or South Australia. But we can honestly tell you that the numbers here in Sydney's southwest, it's not looking very good. And what we can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Gladys made it quite clear, again, like she always has since this pandemic began on June the 16th at Bondi. Okay, if you don't have to leave your home, please do not do that unless you have a specific reason for doing that. And even if you go to the shops, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a good idea to do that. Okay? Order what you need online, guys, and get it delivered to your house. here's my offsider.
Yeah, if there's any way that you can avoid going out, then obviously do so. But if you do have to go out for something essential, then make sure that you're only doing that one thing and you're wearing a mask and checking in and all of those things.
So the way that we don't know we don't know what Saturday, July 31 will look like for us, but I will give you an update tomorrow on episode 245. So a big rise in numbers compared to the numbers we have seen in recent days. Okay, so that is a very high number indeed. 60 of them were in the community. That's not good. So once again, if you don't have to be out, guys, please do not go, because it's not safe. The government is running out of options of what to do, but all we can do, ladies and gentlemen, is wait for the decision on whether the lockdown will be lifted, but I am not sure about that. I will have to watch the 11 o'clock update tomorrow and let you know what the news is from there. So certainly very grim news for the western suburbs of Sydney, and also a couple of staff were infected at Liverpool Hospital. We do understand. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, so there's been a few essential workers and healthcare staff at hospitals that have been infected and that have spread to patients in the hospitals. So it's definitely not good, but they're doing all they can to isolate the close contacts and make sure that it doesn't spread anymore.
Okay, so just to note, 172 cases today. Out of the cases that came out today, and I will just get Georgia to recap the numbers again.
Yep, so 172 cases with 60 in the community while infectious.
So again, if you don't have to be out, ladies and gentlemen, please do not go. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, there's definitely essential reasons to leave the house, and there's a majority of things that are not essential, so make sure that you're only sticking to, I think it's the 4 or 5 reasons that you're allowed to leave, so make sure that you're sticking to that so that we can get out of lockdown as soon as possible.
Now, moving on from the lockdown, Georgia and I went for a walk around the block this morning, and I did very well. I did not stop like I did last week, and we got back in time to watch the conference, and I can tell you, like, the confidence that I had was really outstanding. It was really good to get out of the building, get some fresh air, and boy, did I enjoy it. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, Barry, very proud of you. You had a lot of confidence on the walk, and you improved a lot from last week, so it's definitely a good step, and I'm glad that you're proud of yourself for that.
So we are going to close the show with what we opened with. confidence. Okay, so build up your confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Try something new. Don't forget about it. Okay, because it is no good keeping the contents in the can or bottle. Okay, get out there, get out of your shell. Go for a walk in your park like Georgia and I did a couple of weeks ago, and boy, that walk today, we've actually got some footage of that walk to bring you as well. So on that note, it is time to draw episode 244 to a close, and Georgia, thank you for coming on the show. Been lovely to work together again, and good luck with your uni, and hopefully you will tell me about it on the next program.
I will. Thank you, Barry. It's been good.
So hopefully Georgia will be here with me in the studio, but who knows? But we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But that's all we have time for today on episode 244, and the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, that is 000. Please, we repeat, please do not ring that number unless you've got an emergency. 000 is only for emergencies. Here's Georgia now to remind you of that, how important it is to leave 000 alone only in an emergency.
Yeah, it's definitely important to, as Barry says every episode, to only use 000 for an emergency, because especially now you don't want to give anyone any illnesses that you may have if you're infectious, such as COVID, if you could get to the hospital another way or have a telehealth consultation. So you want to make sure that you're only using 000 in an emergency.
And Lifeline as well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 131114. That number again is 131114. They are a 24-hour service if you are struggling through this difficult time. And just before we do go, okay, don't be a fool and have a protest. Breaking news, okay, another protest has been organised for this weekend. We cannot believe that. That is outrageous, because it's not going to solve anything. Here's Georgia now to take us out with that message, and don't be a fool and protest. Here she is to take us out with that message.
Yeah, protesting definitely isn't the answer in this situation. It's just going to worsen the situation and make everyone be in lockdown for longer and make the help harder to receive. So it's definitely not a smart choice to be protesting, and I hope that it doesn't go ahead and put everyone in danger.
So on that note, the time is 8 minutes past midday. Barry Fair and Georgia signing off from episode 244. Thanks for your company, and I will see you next week on the show. Have a great rest of Tuesday, everybody. Episode 245 coming up tomorrow. But from Georgia and myself now, have a great afternoon. See you next time around on the Daily Rats. Bye-bye.